I'm sure at this point we've all had someone show up for a portrait that looks like maybe they haven't slept in, I don't know, like a year, or maybe they just came off like a 3-day bender and they've got bags under their eyes that are just straight up checked luggage. Well, today I'm going to take you through 3 super easy ways to take these bags and make them look a whole lot better. Welcome back, everybody. Now, the idea for this video came to me last night when I realized that for probably the last week I've been sleeping like absolute garbage. And it happens to all of us. We all hit these random stretches where we just never feel rested. But I saw myself in the mirror and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna shoot a quick portrait of myself. And then this morning I thought I'd take you guys through 3 really quick ways to take those bags out from underneath the eyes, make it look natural, and just make your portraits look that much better. So the first method is your standard dodge and burn. Now, I've created a Photoshop action for this and it's included in the description below. It's completely free. You can pause the video now, download it and follow along, or you can do it after, whatever tickles your fancy. But we're gonna jump into the computer here and I'll show you how that works. So as you can see here, we have our portrait. I'm just gonna come over to my actions palette here and click on the dodge and burn. And as you can see, it creates 2 separate layers, one labeled burn, one labeled dodge. Now we wanna come over and make sure our brush tool is selected, and then we wanna make sure our foreground color is set to white. The reason for that being that the white is actually going to paint away the black and it's going to allow the effect to come through. Now the other big thing is I like to come over to flow and set this at around 3%. What that does is it essentially makes the brush act like an actual brush, whereas the more you stroke it across, the more the effect becomes apparent. So just to show you guys here, I'm going to come in, select on my dodge, make sure my white is up, 3%, and I'm just going to start adding this in. Now, as you can see, it doesn't show really quickly, but as you toggle this on and off, you can see that it's actually lightening that up quite a bit. We'll come in here and we'll do this side as well. And I'm not going to go through and do like a full retouch on any of this. This is strictly demonstrative purposes. If you guys like any of these techniques, you can go through and apply them with some of your photos, see how they work out. But as you can see there, so that's just starting to lighten those up a little bit there. If I want more, I'll flatten this down, hit the action again, select my dodge, and just paint in a little bit more again. And you can keep doing this until the effect is kind of at the desired amount for the image that you're working on. Make this brush a little smaller, get in that little crack there. There, and then just to show you guys kind of before and after, we'll go all the way on our history to before and then after, and I'll zoom in all the way so you guys can see that. So if we go up here, this is the before and that's the after. Now the next method is using the patch tool, and this works really well if somebody's, maybe a little bit older, they've got really large bags under their eyes and you want to take a lot of it out without actually having to go in there and use the dodge and burn tool over and over and over. So I'll show you guys how to do this real quick. So again, we have our portrait here, and I'm just going to come over and I'm going to select the patch tool this time. What we'll do is we'll come in here and we're just going to select the bag that's under the eye. We're going to grab it and we're going to bring it up to around the forehead area. Now the reason I like to select the forehead is because it typically is in line with the cheekbone. So the amount of light that's coming across is usually even on the forehead as well as the cheekbone. Plus with the forehead you don't get, my burly beard and all that type of stuff. So you end up with, a much cleaner selection. So now that we've got that selected, we're going to hit Control-Shift-F. That's Command-Shift-F for those of you who are on a Mac, and it's going to bring up this opacity slider. And what we can do is we can bring that down to maybe around 50-ish%, and we'll click OK, and then we're going to hit Control-D or Command-D to deselect that, and we're going to come across and we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So we're going to select that, we're going to come up here, bring up our opacity fader, bring that down, maybe not so much on this one, hit OK, and then deselect. As you can see on this here, what this does is it really just quickly takes those bags and just really narrows them down, and you can go in and do as much of a an opacity slide as you need to give you the effect that you're wanting to achieve. Now the last one is a little bit more involved. We're actually going to use a curves adjustment layer. I'll show you guys how I do that right now. All right, and one last time here. This time we're going to come over to the curves adjustment. Going to select that. Then we're going to come down here to the layer thumbnail, and we're going to make sure that this is highlighted. Come over to your color picker. I can't say that today. Come over to your color picker tool. Double click on that. Then we're going to come in. Full screen this here. We're going to come in. We're going to select, you know, a skin tone that we want to emulate. So we'll just grab one of these here. Click OK. It's going to ask you, do you want to save the new target colors as defaults? Say no. Then we're going to come in, we're going to select one of the dark parts with the color picker still selected. Click on that. Come back over here, select our layer mask, hit Control I or Command I to invert. Make sure that our foreground color is white. We'll select a brush, make sure again that it's set to 3. We're going to come in and we're just going to paint this in a little bit. And as you can see again, gradual, but it actually makes quite a difference. And so we're just going to come over to this side. We're going to do the same thing. So we're going to select our background layer again, click on the curves, select our layer thumbnail, double click on the color picker, move this out of the way. We're going to select skin tone we like, hit OK, select no for defaults, click onto the darker area that we want to get rid of, click on that again, invert it, grab our brush, and just start painting this in. And the nice thing too is that these are both on layers, so if you get a little carried away, say that you paint this one in too much, and it doesn't look quite right, as you can see here, you can actually take this and just slide your opacity back and dial it in to exactly where it looks natural, but you know, your subject doesn't look like they're super tired anymore. So just bring this in. We'll go full screen so that you guys can see this. So before, after, and again, before, after. And there you have it, 3 super easy ways to control the bags that are happening underneath your portrait subject's eyes. If you guys did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed yet, please do. I'd very much appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.